Welcome back, and we're moving into our final segment for today. Of course, we are joined at this time by well-known health advocate Cornelio Marfield. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
All right. So Cornelio, you know, we've had you on talking about moringa. We've talked about some of the health food that people can look at, but now we're talking detox, right?
Very important.
What is detoxification? All right.
Detoxification is a process where we put in degenerative chemicals, and these chemicals comes from different sources: food, the environment, things we put on our skin. Even our deodorant has in aluminum. We have heavy metals. We have pesticides in food. And these things toxify the system. So like we say, you stress, you de-stress, you toxify, you detoxify. So detox is a process where we are trying to rid the body of all these toxic substances that we have accumulated over time.
Okay.
Basically.
Now, there's some people who they doubt whether or not detoxification is necessary or possible. What are your thoughts on this?
I bring my good friend here. I call him Dr. Curly.
Okay.
And Dr. Curly has some detoxifying organs in him.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a car has a carburetor and it serves a purpose. A car has a radiator and it serves a purpose. And the body has all these different parts, body parts. Interestingly, the body has more detoxifying organs than any organ in the body. We have one major cardiovascular organ, which is our heart. You know, we have our nervous system, but we have 5 eliminating detoxifying organs that I would like to talk about this morning quickly. And I want to start right from the top, and hence we'll understand why we need to detoxify the body regularly, just the same way we change oil in a car. So in the upper part of our body, we have our 2 lungs, and these serves basically to take out carbon dioxide, which is a poisonous toxin. If it stays in our body, we'll end up having things like lactic acid, which is a chemical toxic as well that accumulates in the muscle. This organ serves mainly when we do a lot of cardiovascular workout. We run, we breathe deeply, we are eliminating toxins through this.
Yeah.
Of course, substances like smoking, etc., can prevent that process. As we go down, we have basically our liver. Our liver is the largest detoxifying organ in our body. It has about 4 pounds. It's a very hard-working organ. And the purpose, apart from detoxifying, is to help to melt and emulsify toxic fat that we consume on a daily basis. It helps with that process through what we call the gallbladder. You always hear about people having gallstones, gallstone accumulation. It's a small internal organ that is attached directly to your liver. And so when you begin to see people getting quote-unquote fat, it's because this organ is beginning to malfunction. So we need to consistently, persistently detox this organ at least every week, every month, and at least a serious regime every 3 months, because if we don't detoxify the detoxifier, then we're like doing like what happened to my vehicle recently. I had a problem with starting my vehicle. It was like choking. And when I took it to the mechanic, he went in and he said that it's basically the filter that needed to be cleaned and changed. When as automatically as he cleansed that part of the car began to operate effectively and efficiently. So it's the same thing with our body. I'm just taking this quickly. And then, of course, we have our stomach, which is not a detoxifying organ, but it's connected to the colon now, which is this large organ in here. All right, we have the small intestine, which is about 20 feet, and then we have an additional 5 feet of our colon. The colon is this structure here where you have your ascending colon, your transverse, you have a descending, and then you have a sigmoid colon that goes into your rectum, where basically feces are accumulated for elimination process. This is another major eliminating and detoxifying organ. As we eat and we consume things that are not best for our body, the byproducts, the toxins accumulates in this organ a lot. And that's why we are going to talk about colon cleansing, a few, etc. There is another very important organ. This is your kidneys. There are two kidney-shaped organs that are situated more in the back part of your body. These also serve to remove toxins, particularly soluble, what we call water-soluble toxins. All right, and of course we know that goes through the bladder and via your urethra in man and woman reproductive, male and female reproductive system. So these are your 5 major portals of elimination. So in answering the question, do we need to detoxify our body? The obvious answer to me is yes, because if you don't regularly detoxify your system, these areas will get accumulated with toxin, which will convert to fat, which will convert to diabetes, which will convert to cardiovascular problem, and eventually lead to death. Let me take a very important aspect of this presentation. I brought a good friend of mine, 5 pounds of belly fat.
I wanted you to not say how much, because this is always the trick, right?
Of belly fat.
Look at that, and it feels so heavy.
Do you know the average Belizean have that around their midsection? After the age of 40 especially?
I think that you'd look at this and you'd automatically think that's what 10 pounds of fat looks like. No, this is 5.
That's just 5 pounds. Now let me explain something here. You see this organ here? Right here, if we go back in here, let me put back our colon in place. The omentum is it's a fat tissue that lies right below your stomach, and it's a curtain. It's a curtain that is placed there to help cushion your organs. It's for protection. Now this is different than the subcutaneous fat that is found in the largest detoxifying organ, which is your skin. Under your skin, you have what you call subcutaneous fat. Sub mean below, cutaneous, the skin. These helps for buffer the system and keep you warm. That's not the fat we're talking about. We're talking about the fat that is around these digestive organs. Now, an average person that has a 6-pack or a flat belly has one thin line. Can I use maybe one of these paper? It's a thin layer of fat there. Over the years, we start to eat wrong, we don't exercise, we are stressed, because stress is a contributor, by the way. It creates cortisol and epinephrine and a whole lot of other hormones that causes fat accumulation as well. But eventually, as the liver is not functioning properly, we are not detoxifying the system, we are not exercising and eliminating all the toxin through the skin. The liver is taking a lot of strain, the kidneys are taking a lot of strain. What the body does, it begins to convert these chemicals into fat cells, and it stores them, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and it becomes this. That is amazing. It is amazing to see a person's body has fat this thin, and within 10 years it can get this big. Now, as the president of the Diabetes Association, I'm going to tell you this is the #1 cause for metabolic syndrome problem. It creates insulin resistance, it creates hypertension. I mean, it creates a whole host of problem that we are facing in our country.
I appreciate that you said that, because one of the major risk factors for diabetes is excessive belly fat, specifically. Once you have a big waist circumference, it is actually putting you more at risk for diabetes. Type 2 diabetes.
Type 2 diabetes. Excellent, Marlene. Whenever I have clients come to me and they said they want to lose weight, I have a Tanita machine, I scan their body, and one of the first area I pay keen attention is not their weight, I pay attention to this midsection. As a rule, your waist should be your height in inches divided by 2 plus 1. So if you are 5 feet 6 inches, that's 66 inches. You divide it by 2, that's 33 inches plus 1, that's 34 inches. So if your waist is more than 34 inches, it is the first indicator that you have excessive fat. You're vulnerable to these cardiovascular as well as metabolic syndromes disease.
Well, that's a great, and I think everybody can find a tape measure at home and do that and see how many inches
you could do it right at home.
They need to take
Excellent.
off. Now, how does one lose belly fat? How does one get to the
lose the belly fat?
detoxification?
That seems to be the challenge.
That seems to be the challenge. By right, our food is our medicine if we are eating the right one. So many times we have accumulated so much fat. It's like you have a room and you have been storing garbage and you've been putting this on the shelf. You need some help. You need somebody to come in and help you, or you have a vehicle you haven't cleaned for probably months, and you need to take it to some parking shop and let them do the cleansing for you or the cleaning process. So what some substances does is it helps to clean these different organs. So one of the things I've been promoting for many years, I remember the first show I came on this show, I brought 2 cleanser, and I still have them here. I have one is a colon cleanser, because every disease, they say a clogged colon is the mother of all degenerative diseases. So we're not even talking about the omentum now. We are going internally, because when we go into this organ here, this is a tube. It's a long tube. All right, and in here, all right, let me get out this small intestine. All right, so we have in here, all right, when we eat the food empty in here, the byproducts, and especially if it's mucus forming, it's that fried and refried food, it's white flour, it's sweet, it's all these sticky substances, it begin to accumulate over years. And the colon the lumen begins to get smaller and smaller. It leads to constipation, the mother of all degenerative diseases. And constipation don't only mean that you don't evacuate regularly, but you have abnormal evacuation. Your stool is just dropping on like little pebbles, or when it drops way down deep, suggesting that it has a lot of heavy toxic metal. It has a very high scent. So there are indicators. And normally when people come to do colon cleanse, I would ask them to fill out a little indicator, of these different symptoms, because it tells a lot. And this can lead to colorectal cancer. It can lead to a lot of other issues. So the idea is to try to give this a little cleansing. So what I created, and I learned this when I was working in a lifestyle center and hospital in the States, is like every 3 months we should clean out our colon, especially after the Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
All the cakes and the rompopo and the constituent of it is psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is a natural plant that has the ability to swell in water. It's very high fiber. So that's the main bulking agent. This is not a senile diarrhea effect agent. It's a bulking agent that is going in like a grader. You're going to go and try to push out it. But it has some antitoxin in there. So it has bentonite clay, it has in diatomous earth, which are 2 antitoxins. So while you're pushing this substance in, you're also accumulating the toxin because you want to eliminate it. Let me say something about that and the liver again. A lot of people get fatty liver as we know it, because when we have eaten this fatty food and we haven't put fiber with it, what happens? The liver produces that bile, the bile emulsifies the fat. But instead of you need the fiber to accumulate that and put it together and eliminate it through the canal, your colon. But what happens if it is not done with that process? Then all of that will reverse back into your liver. Okay? Everything we eat goes to this liver. Yeah. This is the metabolism center.
So the first detox that you recommend is a colon cleanser. Now, if people can't purchase the colon cleanser that you've created, what are some other options of foods that are good for cleansing your colon?
High fiber food. Anything that is very plant-based is excellent. I always say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and it is the truth. Yeah. Apple is very high fiber. Yes. If you can start your morning with 1 apple, that's a good way to start to push out. Because when you eat an apple, yes, your pectin. Actually, I put apple pectin, if you notice, it has an apple pectin in there. But for someone who might not be able to afford it rightfully, this has in the pectin, this has in the fiber, and it also has an antitoxin. So just an apple a day truly keeps the doctor away. Okay. But I would do that more than that. I would do an apple, I would do a citrus, a vitamin C fruit, and I would do the whole fruit. Rather than juice it, I eat the pulp, the endocarp, everything with it.
The inside portions of it, right?
And then I would do most fruits that are not very high in a glycemic index. So and
a lot of our fruits are sweet.
And especially when you go through in the ripening process. But anything that has the skin on it, that you can eat, any plum, any fruit that you can eat like an apple is excellent to help with the eliminating program. Chia seed, which I brought as a sample here, is also good to clean the colon. It's good to help with weight loss in the process, because when you clean the colon, metabolism will eventually enhance. So the chia seed is pretty cheap. I think you pay about $10-15 a pound, and you can put a spoon in your power shake.
And you only need a little bit.
A little bit, right. Flaxseed is also good. And basic nuts, the more natural the food, I believe, the better your eliminating process. So wheat, brown rice. These are food that are very high fiber and they keep the colon going.
So that is, those are suggestions for your colon cleanse. Now let's talk about some of the other stuff.
Okay, then we have a blood.
Yeah.
The reason why we need to clean our blood too, and I normally try to promote doing it simultaneously with the colon because everything will reach the blood.
Yeah.
That's why diabetes is a deadly disease because it travels in the blood. And the blood feeds every conceivable cell, tissue, and organ in your body. So we need to make sure that we are keeping the blood clean properly on a regular basis. So I created this blood cleanser that I brought a couple years ago, I think about 10 years ago, and I'm still seeing success with it.
Yeah.
I see diabetes level go down. I see cardiovascular issues, people who come with high cholesterol. It's a bit of herb combination, and it's a 10 days treatment.
Yeah.
And the idea is to purify the blood. It's just like when we take Cerosea or with jackass bitters, it cleans the blood. But this is more capsulated, and I know most Belizeans don't really like bitter stuff. Although the philosophy say the bitter the better.
Yeah.
But you know, it's interesting that I were able to be given this ability to capsulate. I have tried it, prove it on many clients, including myself. I have done it, and I see great results. I remember a couple years ago, my triglyceride was a little bit above normal, and I do my yearly checkup, and I don't appreciate that as a health advocate. And I went on a 10 days blood cleanse, and I brought that triglycerides down to half the amount, only using this blood cleanser. So I know it works.
So I see here a jar of cayenne pepper. What is the big deal about cayenne?
I use cayenne pepper as this is what we call infused lime water. It has in mint leaf, it has in cucumber, it has in your lime. When I add that to this, I create what is called the rocket fuel. And the rocket fuel is just what it is, an amount of energy. It has in capsaicin, which is a major fat burning agent that is found in that pepper. So I would put, like, for this is like basically a 16 ounce. I would use about half a teaspoon to this, and I would drink it often. I start the morning with a glass of it. This is mainly for the liver. Okay. Because we are cleansing, we are detoxifying the colon, the blood, but we have to also help the liver. Okay. Lime and liver, their name are almost similar, are first cousin. And lime is very good. When we were younger, that's what we used to clean the chicken with. We didn't even have vinegar, right? You clean the chicken with lime to cut out the fat. It does the same thing internally. The little extra cayenne pepper with the fat burning agent it has enhanced that process to clean your liver. Another way to clean your liver, of course, is to go on a fasting program. A couple days apple juice fasting is excellent. And then in the night, you probably add some amount of lime along with olive oil. And I think it would be best you see me on a professional process, because I would prefer you to go to a medical doctor, do checkup. But I'm just promoting certain things here right now.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think it is important to recognize, and you've said it before, and we've heard you say it so far, you need to have the medical checkup. You need
there is
to
a
see
place
your
for everybody.
doctor.
There is a place for everybody.
And your recommendations are about how to change your lifestyle when you're ill or to prevent illness.
Precisely, precisely.
Now, I see a sample of a healthy breakfast. That's what we want to see this morning.
Oh, and I also have my I will give you this because I know you're a moringa lover. So Happy New Year's.
And lemongrass.
Lemongrass, yes. And that is very good for detox too. I do it very hot in the evening with my clients, and so I am trying to get to what I would consider a reasonable economic plate of healthy, detox, low-fat plate of food.
Is it palatable? People hear healthy food and they say, oh no, it's going to be gross.
Food,
I don't know how you define palatability anymore, because when people eat a certain way for years, they kill the palates anyway. But I think it starts with the mind. When you start to understand the benefits of why this would be a good plate of food and what you're going to get as a result. I think one of the persons that did the first show talk about setting goals. And the goals must be realistic, of course, but you must see what will be the benefit. So if I eat this versus going and buying tacos or buying a chicken with fries,
or meat pies,
whatever it might be that is fattening, if you think health is expensive, then try sickness. So I believe this is nice. I had this plate of food. This is a nuts bread. I didn't bring moringa this time. I brought nuts. This is a nuts bread. It's a whole wheat nut bread. It could be a tortilla. It could be corn tortilla. I decided to do fried beans because I know people do like a little bit of something fried. But there is nothing else fried in here, so I can afford that. That's a boiled egg. And I could take the cayenne pepper and I could sprinkle something else to season this. The beans is normally nice seasoned. I'm just giving an example of something that everybody can afford. An average Belize, and a pound of beans is
So
$1.50.
we have 2 slices of wheat bread,
2 slices of wheat bread.
which could be substituted for corn tortilla.
This is your carbs, quarter of your plate. Another quarter is your protein. So I'm having beans and I have a boiled egg. Preferably boiled, especially if you want to lose fat. If you fry the egg, you might not be doing much justice. You can probably get away with the fried beans in a little bit of sensible oil. All right, and I suggest you do at least 3 fruits in the morning. A banana. I know an apple is a little bit more expensive, but you can probably get a pineapple, especially if you have to feed 4 or 5 children. Right? So we have to think also in that quantity. But I would say an apple, pineapple, and a banana, and always try to do a vitamin C fruit.
Okay.
And feel it.
It's heavy. I can imagine.
That is filling. You don't need nothing more than that for the day. That will hold you up till 12 o'clock. I assure you. I assure you. I had that identical plate 5 o'clock this morning before I left, and I feel like Superman. And I will assure you that will take me all the way till lunch. All of this paradigm shift must start here. It has to start in the mind. Now, of course, you can substitute that.
We can have that for breakfast?
I certainly would.
You can do avocados. You can do. There are other things we can substitute and change. And I think the more plant-based your food is, the better it will be for you, because plant has fiber. Fiber is what will absorb your fat and will eliminate it through your portals of your colon.
Okay.
So these are some of the things that I wanted to present this morning as you have invited me. Any further questions?
Well, I was going to say that I know you have a wealth of information that you'd like to share with us, but we are out of time.
And you can visit, I have a Facebook page. I have a diabetes Facebook page. I have my personal health page. My daughter has her Nutrilicious Corner page. As you remember,
she does.
She has officially opened her business and she's doing well. I mean, she prepares food like this for people, healthy meals for the lunch. She does her shake. She has a Detox, a lean green drink that she prepares.
Okay.
And so you can get that right there at Nutrilicious Corner in Belmopan. We're located right by Brody's. We have the bakery by Brody's. We have the Nutrilicious Corner by Brody's. What I would like to do next, though, is to come back and talk about how to cleanse the body externally. I am also a hydrotherapy massage therapist, and I have several people I work with in spas, etc., and we have ways to detox your body externally. There is Russian steam baths, there are hydrotherapy treatments, there are foot baths, there are saunas, there are wraps. There are many ways how we can pull out this toxin out of our body. We are just dealing with it from a dietary and an inside. So and running exercise evidently is another way you sweat out toxin. All right. And so I want to encourage us and to just stay active, to eat healthy, to live longer. I had a testimony. I think I don't know if it had shown on the screen, but I had a client that lost 103 pounds this year, who had lost 116 pounds last year.
Wow.
She is my online client. I need you to understand what I'm saying. She had 400 and odd pounds. And she contacted me, and I started to work with her with all of these processes. She got a personal trainer. She started to do a lot of uphill. She was in the gym. She started to do uphill climbing as her heart began to work better. And she did all of this detox process. She visited me this year. She came and she took back a whole lot of this stuff, and she's on it. I am so amazed. She's a local Belizean, and she looks good. There was a picture with her taken by the Christmas tree. That was the one that blew my mind. The girl looked 20 years younger, and all because she went through all this due process.
And I like that you show that it is possible, especially when people are very obese. It feels impossible to lose the weight. And that definitely shows it. And it's a combination of eating healthy, detox, and exercise.
And positive thinking, because what happened a lot of times, chemicals, look at that.
Well, congrats
400 and odd pounds to that in December 2017. That's amazing. It is an amazing process to be whole.
If you would like more information and to be able to keep up to date with the tips that Cornelio provides,
I have a
he is on
number.
Facebook. Find him there
Cornelio
and
Marfield.
make contact.
My number is 625-4231, 625-4231. I brought some of these things down here. I will leave some at the health food store. There's a health food store on the boulevard.
Yeah.
That's where I leave most of my product, the moringa, the colon cleanse, the blood cleanser. They can get it there. And feel free to contact me through, like you said, my number or Cornelio Marfield New Vision on Facebook.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead now and take our final break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. Woohoo!